Okay, let's just be real for a second. Belly fat is, well, it's frustrating, right? It always seems to be the first thing to show up and the absolute last guest to leave the party. But what if I told you there's a clear, science-backed roadmap to actually deal with it? Well, guess what? We've taken the advice from 5 of the world's leading experts and boiled it all down into a super simple 5-step checklist. You ready? Let's get into it. So you gotta start with the main question. Why is this one area so dang stubborn? And what can we actually do that works? Well, it turns out a huge piece of the puzzle is knowing that you're not just fighting one enemy, you're fighting 2 completely different types of belly fat. And this breaks it down perfectly. See, on one side, you've got subcutaneous fat. That's the stuff you can see, the stuff you can pinch just under your skin. Yeah, it's annoying. But then there's visceral fat. This is the stuff you can't see. It's stored deep inside, wrapped around your organs like your liver and intestines. And this isn't just annoying, it actually harms you. The great news? The plan we're about to go over hits both. So here's the game plan. First, we're gonna master calories, then build the perfect diet. After that, we'll talk about training, then sleep, and finally, the right mindset. Let's do this.
All right, kicking things off with step 1, the absolute bedrock of this whole thing. And this comes from researcher Dr. Lane Norton. It's simple. You have to master your calories. Everything else is built on this foundation.
So what's at the core of mastering your calories? It's this one concept, a caloric deficit. And don't let the term scare you. It's incredibly simple. It just means you're burning more energy than you're putting into your body. That's it. When you do that, your body has to get that extra energy from somewhere, so it starts tapping into your stored body fat. This isn't a theory, it's not a fad, it's like the law of gravity for fat loss. It is non-negotiable.
And this right here, this is huge, because it completely debunks the biggest myth in fitness. We've all heard it, right? Do 1,000 crunches to get a six-pack. Well, as Dr. Norton makes crystal clear, there's literally zero scientific evidence that you can spot reduce fat. You can't pick and choose where fat comes off. The only way, and I mean the only way, to lose belly fat is to lose overall body fat. And how do we do that? By being in that consistent caloric deficit.
Okay, so we know a deficit is the key. But let's be honest, who wants to be miserable and hungry all the time? Nobody. That brings us straight to step 2, where nutrition researcher Alan Aragon gives us this amazing, simple framework for building a diet you'll actually want to follow. So, Alan's whole approach starts with these 6 core food groups. You've got your high-protein stuff, healthy fats, all those fibrous vegetables, starches, fruits, and dairy. Think of these as your Lego blocks. The real genius is in how we're about to put them together.
And here it is. This is so simple, it's brilliant. Just go through each of those 6 groups and pick 3 of your absolute favorite healthy foods. That's it. Boom, you've got 18 foods that you genuinely like to eat. But here's the best part. Now you add 2 of your favorite YOLO foods. You only live once. Could be ice cream, a glass of wine, a piece of chocolate, whatever you love. And just like that, you have a 20-food plan built around foods you're actually excited to eat. This is how you make it last.
Now, within that awesome diet you just built, there's one number you really got to pay attention to: protein. You want to shoot for around 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight. Now, why is that so important? Well, when you're in a calorie deficit, your body looks for energy, and it can start breaking down muscle. But if you eat enough protein, you're essentially telling your body, hey, hands off the muscle, go burn that stored fat instead. And speaking of muscle, that leads us perfectly into step 3. Your diet creates the fat loss, but your training tells your body what kind of weight to lose. For this, we're turning to Dr. Eric Trexler, a pro bodybuilder with a PhD, who's going to explain why training is so critical.
So why lift weights? I mean, shouldn't you just do cardio? No! As you can see here, lifting sends a powerful signal to your body to hold on to its precious muscle while you're dieting. This is what helps you look toned and shredded instead of just skinny fat. Plus, the science is clear, the more muscle you keep, the less hungry you tend to be, and the lower your chances are of gaining all that fat back down the road. It's a win-win-win.
Okay, now we need to talk about a little secret saboteur that's working against you behind the scenes. It's called NEAT. This stands for all the calories you burn just living. Walking to your car, tapping your foot, taking the stairs. It adds up to a huge chunk of your daily calorie burn. But here's the problem. When you start dieting, your body is smart. It subconsciously makes you do less of this stuff to save energy, which can slow your fat loss to a crawl. And that, my friends, is where cardio comes into play. Think of cardio as your tool to fight back against that drop in NEAT. By consciously adding in a walk, a jog, or a bike ride, you're making sure your total daily calorie burn stays high, even when your body is trying to slow you down. It keeps you in that crucial caloric deficit. All right, you're nailing your diet, you're training smart, but you could be sabotaging every bit of that hard work if you ignore step 4. We're talking about sleep, and body composition expert Dr. Bill Campbell is here to tell us why it's an absolute game changer for losing belly fat. Now, get ready for this, because these numbers are absolutely wild. In a 2022 study, they let 2 groups eat whatever they wanted. The group that got normal 9-hour sleep, they gained 0 visceral fat. But the group that was restricted to just 4 hours of sleep a night, they gained 11% more of that dangerous organ-hugging fat. Think about that. The lack of sleep was directly telling their bodies to store fat in the worst possible place. So you might be thinking, okay, but what if I'm in a deficit? Does it still matter? The answer is a resounding yes. Check this out. A 2010 study put 2 groups on the exact same diet. The group that was well-rested lost 2.3 times more body fat, and the sleep-deprived group, they lost 1.6 times more muscle. Your body was literally choosing to burn muscle and hold on to fat, all because it was tired. Sleep is not a luxury, it is a requirement. And that brings us to our final step. And honestly, this might be the most important one of them all, because it's all about mindset. You can have the best plan in the world, but if you quit, it means nothing. So, Master Coach Lauren Conlon is here to teach us how to track our progress beyond just the number on the scale. This right here, this is the trap. This is why so many people give up. For almost everyone, belly fat is the last to go. You'll be losing fat from your face, your arms, your legs. You're making amazing progress everywhere. But because you're laser focused on your stomach, you trick yourself into thinking it's not working and you throw in the towel. This is why you have to learn to see the real progress. The scale is just one tiny piece of data. Instead, focus on these 3 things. 1, how are your clothes fitting? Is that waistband a little looser? That's undeniable progress. 2, take pictures. Look in the mirror. You will see the changes there before the scale moves. And 3, just how do you feel? Do you have more energy? That's a massive victory. And I want you to burn this quote into your brain. Lauren Conlon says, "You're usually quitting right before it gets good." That moment of maximum frustration, that's often the sign that a big breakthrough is right around the corner. Patience is your superpower. Don't quit before the magic happens. So let's put it all together. Here is your checklist. It's that simple. Number 1, stay in a consistent caloric deficit. Number 2, build a diet around foods you actually love. Number 3, lift weights to tell your body to keep its muscle. Number 4, make 7+ hours of quality sleep a priority. And number 5, be patient and learn to see all the amazing progress you're making beyond the scale. So there you have it. You now have the complete, expert-backed plan. The knowledge is all here. The science is solid. The only question left is the one right there on your screen. Are you willing to be consistent enough to see it through? The choice is yours.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, which give us motivation to make better content for you. See you in the next video.